Hey everybody, welcome back to Andrina's Creation. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to design and put together a Valentine's candy card. You can use any software of your choice. Silhouette Business Edition, version 4.4895. So if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, that is because I am using this version and you might not, but all the steps will be the same. Even though I will be using Silhouette Business Edition, which is the paid version, and it's only a one-time payment, I'll leave the link down below. Usually it's on sale. The original price is $100. Right now it's on sale for $50, and I'll leave the link down below. You can still use the basic edition. You are not going to need a cutting machine at all. You can use this software without owning a cutting machine. All you're gonna do is design, print, and cut by hand. You can use any other software of your choice: Canva, Photoshop, Illustrator, Microsoft Word, you name it, it doesn't matter. Now, I know some people's going to ask me, can they use Cricut Design Space? And because I am going to be printing a full sheet, I'm going to say no, because with Cricut Design Space, you do have to print with a registration mark. You don't need that with what we're doing today, because we are going to be printing borderless. If you do not have a printer that is borderless, then you are going to have to adjust your measurements. All right, so let's get started. First thing you need to do is change your media size. That means the paper size that you are going to be using. I'm going to be using 8.5 by 11. You're going to go to your first icon on your right. It looks like a piece of paper. That one says page setup. So right here where it says media size, I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to change that to 8.5 by 11. And right here where it says orientation, I'm going to change that to landscape. And then my cutting mat, I'm just going to put a regular 12 by 12, even though today we're not even going to be using a mat. Like I said, we're just going to be designing and printing and cutting by hand. Now, if you do have Silhouette Business Edition, you have the ruler, and if you can't see that, you're going to go back to your page setup, your first icon. You're going to go here to your second option and click that, and where it says ruler, make sure that you have your ruler turned on. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I need to know what's the half of my sheet, so when I design. So I'm going to click here on this ruler all the way on my right, and I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to stop it at 5.5. As you can see, the numbers on the top, they're moving. Half of 11, which this is 11 sheet, half of 11 is 5.5, so I put it right here so I know my guide is in the middle of the page. If you do not have Business Edition, you are going to go ahead and create two rectangles. You're going to go here all the way to your left. You're going to grab your shapes. You're going to grab a rectangle. Make any size rectangle here on your screen. You're going to go here to your paint palette icon. That is your page fill. Go ahead and select any color of your choice. You're going to go up here to your width and height. Make sure that your rectangle is selected. Go up here where it says width and type 5.5 and enter. And then on your height, you're going to type 8.5 and enter. That is just a half a sheet. While this is selected, you're going to go ahead here on your right to your transform icon and center that to the left and center that to the top, just like that. You're going to right click and duplicate this one. You can go ahead and change it to a different color of your choice, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to select that rectangle. You're going to go to your transform icon. You're going to go ahead and center it to your right and to the bottom. And now you have two rectangles, so you know which one is the for one side, because we are doing double-sided. So we're going to put one image in the front, one image in the back. If you do not want to do that, then you don't have to design that. And also, there is no right or wrong on what size you make these. Be creative. I'm just going to go ahead and make it 8.5 by 5.5. But let's say you wanted to make it a full 8.5 by 11. So all you have to do is go ahead and change that to portrait mode. And then right here, will be your entire front. And then you design two of them, so it could be one for the front, one for the back. You do not have to cover the front and back. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Now you're also going to here decide if you want the same background in the front and if you want the same background in the back. That's going to be totally up to you. And how do you bring in any design that you have purchased or you're going to get from Google or anything like that? You're going to go here to your file, merge, and that's how you're going to bring in your clip arts, your PNG, your digital patterns, all that. But remember to go to file and merge and now file and open, because if you click on file and open, you're going to be opening a new document. Or you're going to go down here to your file folder, and then from here you're just going to click on whatever you want and you're going to drag it into Silhouette. So if I want this one, all I have to do is bring it in Silhouette just like that. Okay, and keep on clicking and drag it into Silhouette. Now in Silhouette Studio, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. In Silhouette Studio, you have a magnifying glass up here, which is the zoom in and the zoom out button. So if I zoom out, you're able to use everything here in the canvas, but anything that's inside of here, it's what you're going to go ahead and print or cut. Okay, so you are able to put anything outside of here. All right, so let's go ahead and start designing. Like I said, me personally, I want to use the same background for the front and the back, so I'm not going to be needing this. But remember, if you have basic edition, go ahead and use these rectangles for you because you're not going to know your guide. And how you're going to do that is with this rectangle, you're going to select it, and with the basic edition, you had to crop in your design. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and duplicate this. I'm going to go ahead and put that like that. And I'm going to click somewhere here on my screen. I'm going to drag my mouse to select both my rectangle and my image. I'm going to go to the modify icon that looks like a square and a circle, and I'm going to click on crop. And then remember, this one goes here. And then if you want the same thing for the side, just go ahead and put that one on the side. But you didn't have to cut it if you was going to put it on both sides. You would just have to go ahead and resize that to 8.5 by 11, and then just go ahead and center that. I'm going to select it, go to my transform icon and center. Like I said, I want the same thing for the front and the back, so I'm not going to need these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And like I said, I know where my middle is because of this line here. From my basic edition, you can even create, like I said, the rectangle. You can even go ahead and create a line right here using your line and put it right in the middle of the 5.5 mark. All right. Now, I am going to be using a 4-inch clear box, meaning that I need to know exactly where I want that box to go. So I am going to go here to my shapes. I'm going to click a rectangle. Make any size rectangle of your choice. I'm going to go ahead and color it white so you can see what I'm doing. And I am going to zoom in. And this is going to go here. While my rectangle is selected, I'm going to go ahead on my width and type the number 4 and enter. And height 4 and enter. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this wherever I want. If you can see those blue lines popping up, that is because I have something turned on. So I know where's my center and all that. And all you have to do is go here to your page setup again. Go to your second option, and where it says show guides, I have that turned on. Snap to guides and enable smart snapping. I do have all those turned on. So you see, as when I'm moving stuff, I could see blue lines pop up. I am going to go ahead and move all this up here because it's trying to align with these images and I don't want that. All right, so from here, I'm going to wait till this turns to the center when I see that blue line. Or also you can go ahead and select both. Again, transform icon, and you can click on center, but I do want this more to the bottom and make sure it's centered. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this a little bit up. Probably like right there. Me personally, I do not want to have that blank space. And again, like I said, you are going to design them however you want. Me personally, I don't want this to be blank like this. Even if I color it the color black, I don't want it like that. I want to be able to see my design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my rectangle. Let me zoom in so you can see exactly what we're doing. I'm going to select my square because it's not a square. And here where I'm still in the fill icon, which is the paint palette, there's going to be a square here that has lines around it. That means it's no color. So I'm going to select that, and now my square doesn't have a color. But I still need to be able to know where exactly I need to put this clear box at. So while still selected, I'm going to go right under the paint palette, which is the lines. That is the line style color. On my thickness, I have to bring that up. If I leave it on 0, that is not going to print. Even though if I go ahead and change the color, I'm going to change the color to pink. I'm not sure if you are able to see it right there, but I'm actually going to put that white so I can see it when I print it. Even though you can see that it's white on the screen, if I go ahead and try to print this, and you see under print preview, you cannot see that at all. Meaning because your thickness is on 0. So you're going to go back right here on your thickness. You need to go up a little bit. So me, I'm going to leave it at 0.25 because I don't want it to be that thick anyways. I just want to know exactly where the box is. I don't even want that line to be that visible. So if I go back to my printer icon just so I can see how it's going to look, if I zoom in, it looks very light. You see that? That's how it's going to be looking when I print that out. All right. That's how exactly I want it to look. All right. So again, that is in your line style. You change your thickness. The line style is right here under your paint palette. Change your thickness and remove the fill color. All right. So let's zoom out. So there you have it. I have that there. And now you're going to go ahead and start designing it, putting your clip arts, putting anything you wanted to say. So I'm going to go here to my left, and I'm going to click the oval corner rectangle, and I'm going to make a small rectangle like this. Let me go ahead and color this so you can see it, the color white. And I am going to right click and make this a convert to path. And then you're going to go ahead and put these on the top. Again, I am just designing them however I want. You don't have to do it exactly like this. You can put a tag. You can put whatever you want. Here, I'm going to put to and from. So how do you type in silhouette? You're going to go click on the A on your left, then A on your right. And then you're going to go ahead and select whatever font you want to use. You can download fonts from Creative Fabrica, thefont.com, and so on. But anytime that you download a font or install fonts into your device, you have to have the software completely closed. And then when you install the fonts and you reopen the software, you will be able to see all your fonts here. So now click somewhere here on your screen and start typing. I'm going to unselect it to get off the edit mode. I'm going to select it again, go to the fill icon, and I'm going to go ahead and color that. And I'm just going to go right here and make it smaller and then place it where I want it to go. As you can see, it has like a red outline, so I'm going to have it selected. Go back to my outline color and click on no color. I'm going to have the two selected, right click and duplicate. I'm going to put it right here. Double click to go back on the edit mode. And then I'm going to type something else. As you can see, the words went down. So while it's still on edit mode, I'm able to drag this blue line to the side. So everything is in one line just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and select two again. Right click and duplicate. Put it right here. Double click to go back on the edit mode. I'm going to type. Drag that blue line so everything could be in one line. I'm going to unselect it to get off the edit mode. Select it again. I'm going to go to the fill icon and I'm going to go ahead and change the color. I actually want to match it with the lips. So while I'm still in the fill icon, right here, there's like a dropper that looks like a medicine dropper. I'm going to select it and I'm going to come over here and touch the lips so it could be that same red. Now when the name is still selected, I'm going to click now the A on the left and I'm going to go ahead and change that font. I'm going to select that, right click and duplicate, and I'm going to bring it over here, double click. Just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the image that I had up here. Let me start bringing all this down. Also, when I put my clear box here, either if I do it with tape or glue, I personally do not want to see the tape or the glue. This is optional. What I'm going to do is I'm going to print another piece of square so I can go ahead, when I glue the box, I put that inside of here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my shapes, the rectangle. I'm going to make any size rectangle here. Let me go ahead and color it so you guys can see it. And here my box is 4 by 4, so I need to make this rectangle a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna make it 3.95 and enter by 3.95 and enter. Okay, now I know that I want it to match, like it goes exactly right here because it's gonna go inside of my box. So while I have this square selected, I'm gonna select it, hold my shift key, and then click on that background that we just added, right click and duplicate, just like that, and bring it to the side. Okay, and let me delete that one because we no longer need it. So as you can see, this is the rectangle that we just made, right? And I wanted to have the same exact design that matches right here, like so, like it goes together. I'm going to select it both. I'm going to go to my modify icon and I'm going to click on crop. So when this square goes inside of my clear box and I glue it inside, it's going to look like it went perfectly. Can you see that? Like it matched perfectly with the design in the back. If I remove it and I put it back, you see what I'm saying? It looks exactly like it belonged there. All right. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this there. I'm going to send this to the back. And this is going to go here in the center. I'm going to select both. I'm going to center. I'm going to group this together. And this is what I'm going to put. Sorry. I don't even know where it went. Okay. Right click and bring this to the front. So I'm going to be gluing this inside of my clear box, which you will see what I mean at the end. And this is going to be in there. Okay. All right. Just because I don't want to see the glue, like I said. Now you're going to go ahead and also, if you want to, design the back of your card. If you want to add fonts or images and so on, you're going to go ahead and start typing whatever you wanted to say and so on. You can put a quote, a poem, and all that. All right, so this is how mine is going to look. And the way that I added those outlines around the words is just creating an offset. So if you type something, you're going to go ahead to the A on your left. Then click on the A on your right. You're going to go ahead and select a font. I'm going to click here on my screen and type. I'm going to go ahead and put it a color so you can see it. Let me zoom in. All right, so while your font selected, you're going to go here to your offset icon that looks like a double star. Click on that, click on offset, and then play around how big or small you want your offset to be. Then you're going to go back to your fill icon and change the color to whatever color you want it. Click on another offset and go ahead and change that color. Then while you did all the offsets that you wanted, you're going to click here somewhere on your screen, drag your mouse, select everything, right click and group it together. Go ahead and change them red outline color to no color. And then go ahead and just place it wherever you want it to go. You see? You just put that wherever you want to go. I did the same thing here, and then I just changed the color to whatever I wanted. When I did the offsets for these words here, let me zoom in. All I did here was select that offset, and then I just change it to whatever color I want. Just like that. But I wanted it to match that pink like I have there, just so those words could stand out. All right. And that's basically it. From here, you are ready to print, y'all. And how do you print from here? Like I said, you do not need a cutting machine. All you're going to do is print. So you're going to go here to your printer icon. You're going to go ahead, click here on print. You're going to go ahead and select the printer that you have. I'm going to be using the Epson EcoTank 16600. I'm going to click on preferences. On my paper source, I'm going to be printing from the back tray. So I'm going to put paper tray. Document size 8x11. My orientation is on landscape. Right here, I'm going to click on borderless because I am going to be printing borderless. Paper type, I'm going to be using glossy. So I'm going to put it on premium photo paper glossy. And then also here on my borderless where it says settings, I personally going to change my amount of enlargement to minimum. I don't want it to be enlarged at all. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all the way to minimum. And then I'm going to click on OK. Everything looks fine to me. And I'm going to go ahead and print. Now, if you do not have a borderless printer, when you go ahead and print, just keep in mind that either you're not going to have this all the way to the edge. You're going to have this white border just like that. You're just going to have to go ahead and cut that off. Or if you want it like that with a white border, that is perfectly fine. If you want it to be a true full 8.5 by 5.5, if that makes sense. If you don't want to trim it, go ahead, leave it with the white border if you like it. If it blends in with your design, it's perfectly fine. If not, go ahead and trim it, okay, so it can look good. Now, you might say, well, I don't have a printer at home, but I still want to be able to do them. Then if you have business edition, you're able to save this as a PDF file. What I mean to save it as a PDF file means that you can go ahead and send this to a client if you're selling them as a digital file, or you can go ahead and send it to a local print shop and you're going to send them the PDF file via email, or save it in a USB drive and go ahead and connect that USB drive over there at the local print shop. All right. How do you save as a PDF if you have business edition? You're going to click here on save. And right here where it says save as type, you're going to go all the way down to portable document format. Okay, save it as a PDF, save it. Know exactly where you saved that at so you can reopen it when you take it or send it to your client. If you do not have business edition, go ahead and click on your printer icon. And go ahead and scroll and see if you get to see this on your device. It says Microsoft Print to PDF. If you have that, click on that and then you click on print. And it's going to direct you to save this as a PDF right here. Save as type. You click the file name. Make sure that you're clicking on the USB drive that you're going to be saving it, so it's saved there. All right. If you have any other questions from this, just let me know down below. So now we're going to go ahead and print this and put this together. With a paper trimmer, I'm going to go ahead and cut a heavyweight chipboard in half. The size of this chipboard is 8.5 by 11. If I cut it in half, it's going to be 8.5 by 5.5. After I cut it in half, I'm going to go ahead and verify that both sides are 8.5 by 5.5. Every manufacturer is not the same, so you might come across this problem with any paper or anything that you buy, because sometimes it could be slightly bigger or slightly smaller. So just go ahead and verify that it is the correct size that you need, and go ahead and trim all that excess. As you can see, even though the paper said it was 8.5 by 11, look at that little part that I cut off. All right, now remember, I'm going to be leaving all the links down below of everything that I'm using here. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same steps with this printed image that we just designed. I am going to be using sticker paper. The sticker paper that you are going to use is whatever is compatible with your printer. If you have a pigment ink printer, you need pigment ink sticker paper. If you have dye ink printer, you need that kind of sticker paper. Just be aware, because if you do not use the paper that's compatible with your printer, your ink is going to smear. After I cut it in half, I'm going to go ahead carefully and align everything, and I'm going to slowly peel so everything's aligned and not crooked. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in on top, and I'm going to squeegee everything to make sure everything's adhered. After I know everything's adhered, I'm going to go ahead and turn that around, and I'm going to use an Xacto knife to go ahead and trim all the excess that I might have under. And then I'm going to repeat the same steps with the front side of this chipboard, my front design. Here, I'm going to repeat the same steps again. I am just going to go ahead and peel off a little bit of the backing of the sticker paper. After I peel that off, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I align very good the sticker paper with the chipboard without pressing down. Once I know it's aligned correctly, then I'm going to only press the top, the one that doesn't have the backing no more. As you can see, I'm going to align it. I'm not pressing down yet. After I know it's aligned, I press the top to adhere it to the chipboard. After that's adhered, then I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing carefully using the squeegee. So this is how it's going to look if you want to leave it just like this. I want to go an extra step and I want to go ahead and put a holographic laminate sheet. Now, when you do purchase these from Amazon, make sure that they are a full 8.5 by 11 because some of them are not. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in half and I'm going to repeat the same steps. I'm going to put one in the front and one in the back. And don't forget that all the supplies are going to be down below in the description box. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove the protective clear film off the clear box. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I crease them score marks really good and assemble the box. You're going to go ahead and use any adhesive of your choice. I'm going to be using the 3-in-1 Beacons glue. You can also use double-sided tape, and you need to make sure that you align carefully that box with the line that we created when we designed. You're also going to go ahead and decide how you want the box to open. If you want the box to open from the top or the bottom, I have my flaps going to the bottom just because I did not want to see those flaps on the top of my box, if that makes sense. As you see here, this is what I meant, that you can see the glue there, and I didn't want that. That's why I created that extra square so we can cover that glue in there. So I went ahead and also added some coloring sheets inside. These are slightly smaller than the box. Remember, the box is 4 inches, so these are 3.95 by 3.95. So they also have something else to do. You can also add crayons inside, a small little pencil, coloring pencils, and so on. Little toys you can also add inside. All right, you guys made it all the way to the end. If you did, go ahead and comment down below a red heart so I know you guys made it all the way to the end. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload new videos. Comment down below any other tutorials you guys would like to see from me. And let me know if you guys enjoyed this tutorial and if you will be creating them for Valentine's Day. I hope everyone's having a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, y'all.